Hi, I'm Paul with Patriot Paintball Militia, and thanks for watching. I've had a few viewers contact me and point out that it seems like almost all my videos are me demonstrating a paintball marker or talking about paintball stuff, and I don't really do a lot of militia stuff. I just relate my paintball stuff back to it. So today we're going to go through a drill that works for both, and we're going to demonstrate with live firearms. Today we're going to talk about the snapshot drill. Really quickly though, before I touch on that, I had some good viewer response off my last video, paintball markers are not toys. A guy contacted me, apparently he was a witness to an incident a few years back, sent me a link to an article about it where someone brought a paintball marker onto a field that had been fitted with a homemade adapter between the cylinder and the weapon itself. At some point in the day, this adapter failed, causing the cylinder to become a rocket, flew across the field, and unfortunately struck someone in the back of the head and killed them. And that just reiterates my point, guys. These things are not toys. Do not call them toys. Do not treat them as such. But anyways, the snapshot drill. This is a drill that I learned from a teammate of mine years ago. He was a Marine, a SWAT medic. He learned this live firearms, realized it translated well into paintball as well. This is a drill meant to train muscle memory to a reaction shot. And what I mean by that is whether it be directly in front of you, to your left, your right, or behind you, you are drawing to you are developing muscle memory to draw and assess and terminate that threat potentially if need be. Really quickly to demonstrate, we'll just say this is the drill I'm doing with a threat to my left. So in essence, and you want to train this weapon at the low ready, weapon slung, weapon at the high ready. That way you've got the muscle memory there no matter how you're carrying your weapon. But say, well, I have a threat to my left. All right, so I see him out of my peripheral. I draw. I take about 1/4 of a second to assess. About a 1/2 a second to a second to assess. Is he friend or is he foe? I decide he's foe. Safety goes off. Finger goes on the trigger, and I shoot him. Okay. So you have to remember that extra 1/2 second to a second to distinguish is he friend or foe. I practiced this drill wrong for a couple years because I guess I just didn't listen well enough when we were going through this drill. But I had built up the muscle memory, but I had been practicing it as a speed shot, so I was just getting shot off without recognizing as friend or foe. And a couple years back, when I realized I'd been not doing self-justice with this drill, at a scenario, a friend of mine, teammate of mine, came around a corner and muscle memory kicked in. I drew, shot him in the face. And I just realized, like, I've been training myself wrong. I have to develop the muscle memory there to take that extra second to make certain that he is an enemy. And with paintballs, that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, your buddy's probably gonna be upset with you. You're gonna look like a jackass because you just greased a teammate. With live firearms, it's a lot bigger issue. So you've got to keep mindful of that. I prefer to do this live firearms with steel silhouettes. I'll talk about that later. With paintballs, guys, I'll tell you the greatest little setup for it is just get like a 2x4 and a pie plate, or a pie plate tapped up to something. That pie plate, you shoot with a paintball, it gives you a really good reaction. That way you know you hit it. And a pie plate's roughly the size of a human head, so it's I wouldn't say roughly, but comparatively it's close. So it gives you a good base target to use. But guys, that's all I've really got to say from here. Let's go out to the range and let's throw some lead. Alright guys, so we're out to the range to demonstrate snapshot drills with live firearms. I prefer to do this drill with steel targets because they give you that instantaneous feedback of whether or not you hit your target. I've got a couple silhouettes hung here. There's one probably just in the corner screen you might see and you might not. I'm not going to be using him. He's way too close to be shooting a 5.56. He's typically my pistol target. But I've got one on down the creek, slung between a couple trees. I'll be shooting at him. Really quickly though, in one of my previous videos, I made it a point to address the fact that I was not wearing a paintball mask when I was doing a paintball marker demonstration. And my defense of that was I shoot a lot of live firearms. I never make it a point to wear body armor when I go to the range. Well, that's half and half true. As you'll notice, I'm wearing my plate carrier complete with ballistic plates. I'm not wearing this as a safety precaution for this drill. I'm wearing this for the purpose that this drill is meant to develop muscle memory. And any drill that you're doing that is meant to develop muscle memory, you need to do it in wearing whatever gear you would bring to a fight. Whatever, if you wear a plate carrier, if you wear an old Alice rig, whatever, wear that when you're doing this drill. That way you train yourself to do this stuff in the gear you would bring to the fight. If you wear gloves, wear your gloves. If you wear knee pads, and so on and so forth. Just wear the stuff you would bring to a fight so you're training yourself properly. So I'm going to walk through this really slowly. The first time, verbalize all the steps, and then I'll start picking it up. I'll do it full speed. I'll demonstrate the multiple positions from which you do this drill. So basically, I have a threat to my 6. He just pops up in my peripheral. I'm sorry, a threat to my left. He pops up in my peripheral. I draw. I assess, is he friend or foe? I decide he is foe. Safety goes off, finger goes on the trigger. Finger goes off the trigger, weapon goes down, safety goes off. All right? So that's the essence of the drill. That was pretty slow. I'll do it full speed next, and then I'll start stepping through the multiple ways you can do it. So, threat. So that was full speed, the first drill I went through. You go to kneeling, do the same thing. Threat. Now, threat to your 6, it's a little different. The way I prefer it is you instantly go to kneeling. You turn around, and this is just, you heard something behind you, and you need to address, is he friend or foe? If he's foe, take a shot. So, I get threat. Now, the reason I prefer to go to kneeling on that one is because if you just turn straight around, it actually takes a little more time to take that extra step. But if you just spin and drop to one knee, it's one movement, and you can turn around a lot quicker. So now, same thing with threat to my right. All right, so see something in my peripheral, I draw, aim, and as you'll notice, I actually even missed him. That's why you do this drill. Threat. Threat. Now, left side kneeling. Threat. 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 But now you've always got to be mindful to take that momentary pause before you pull the trigger to make certain he is friend or foe. You don't want to grease a friendly. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, keep your irons up.